So what's going on guys, Kades here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today we are checking out Naraka Bladepoint and we will see if this game is worth playing in 2024. At the beginning of the video, we will take a closer look at the game itself. Then we will take a closer look at the different game modes and see how good or bad the hero and character customization is. And then lastly, we will go into the gameplay and see how easy or hard for a brand new player to pick this game up is and just play from the start. So just before we start, I want to give you a quick disclaimer that yes, this video is sponsored, but I'm not getting paid for saying positive or negative things about the game. All they said is to give a try to Naraka Bladepoint and see if I like it. So if you want to try the game out, click the link in the description, and if all this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So Naraka Bladepoint is up to 60 player battle royale with martial artist heroes with a fast-paced melee focused combat. My first impressions of this game was imagine Lost Ark or any other MMORPG, and instead of having to grind hundreds of hours for your gear, just matchmake with 59 other players and all of you are on the same level. So you just choose in which location you want to spawn and then let the fighting begin. So from the start, a new player is greeted with a tutorial that will take about 5 minutes to complete. My first impressions were actually quite good, as in most games you have to adjust settings and go through each one of your keybinds to set up everything properly. But Naraka Bladepoint even from the start felt great. The graphics surprised me that I could get such a good looking gameplay without changing anything, so this just motivated me to get into the game even more. So with all the basic things out of the way, now let's go over to the main reason why you would want to play this game, which is this MMORPG type of styled battle royale. As soon as you matchmake, you can choose your hero, and then instead of having to go on a battle bus or something like that, you just have a map where you can pick and choose where to spawn. And of course, there are more popular or less popular areas. As a new player, you can pick a less populated area where you can loot more and get used to the game, or instead pick a more populated place and go fighting straight away. So then all around the map you'll be able to find different weapons, and each weapon has different attacks and playstyles. So overall the game has two different weapons, ranged and melee. Melee weapons are long swords, spears, daggers and etc. And then the ranged weapons are muskets, bows, pistols and much more. So then as well you will find different colored gear, which is ranked into different tiers. So the white color is the lowest quality and the orange is the highest. There's definitely a lot of customization in terms of what you can loot and how it affects your playstyle. This is really a nice addition which I would wish I could find in more games. The way that your inventory works is that you can equip different weapons with different attacks, but then in your backpack you get to put even more weapons. So then at any time you can swap your loadout depending on the enemy, and we can find this mechanic used in the real end game, where there are only few good players left, so you have to adjust your gameplay to defeat the stronger players. There is of course armor that will give you more defenses the better it is. But you have different consumables as well to regain health or shield and much more. Then there is also a rune system that will allow you to carry set amount of runes, which will improve your damage, health, and the best part is that there are even special runes, which will give you different perks. So for example, your footsteps can be heard and much more. At the start of the game, I really thought that this would be a basic PvP arena, but the in-depth details and things you can do and find is really cool, and it will keep you entertained for a long time. So then let's take a closer look at the game modes this game has to offer. So you can choose between 3 categories. The first category is called the training, and as a new player, if you want to learn the mechanics of the game and how everything works on a basic level, then this is the place for you. Then the second category is called the casual, and this is a team deathmatch mode where you get already weapons, so then you fight with other players and the player with the highest score, aka eliminations, will win. And just in a few seconds we will come back to the Omni's Nightmare mode and I will cover this in depth. And then lastly we have the third category called the survival, and this is the bread and butter of this game, where you start with nothing, so then you search for items and weapons and the last man standing will win. The Herald's Trial is a ranked game mode of this battle royale, and then the quick match is the same mode just without ranking. So then on top of all this, I wanted to specifically cover this new game mode called Omni's Nightmare mode, and this is a zombie mode where the map consists of these Ember and Shadow corruptions. Each Ember contains a soul spark, while the Shadow corruption contains several soul lanterns. Heroes in the Embers or near soul lanterns regain health, while they lose health in the Shadow Corruption. In this game mode, players will be assigned 3 factions, and heroes have to obtain and put items in the Soul Spark to light them, and if you complete this objective, you will receive coins, which then you can use to get weapons and gear. Then as well, a cool thing is that after a hero dies, he can revive himself and revenge his attacker. So the game mode's objective is that all 3 factions are fighting, so the heroes have to light up all the 3 lanterns while the enemies, aka the evil ends, have to stop them and much more. I personally really enjoyed this game mode, and you should definitely try this one out. So then let's move over to the heroes, and Naraka Bladepoint has 11 options with a brand new hero called Justina, which we will cover just in a second. But basically each hero has 3 abilities, with 2 skills being normal and then the third one being your ultimate. Each hero as well has his own playstyle. So for example, the Viper creates a powerful blast that will knock your enemies back, which is pretty good crowd control technique. Then for example, the Kurami hero allows you to heal yourself and a teammate, making her an essential choice in duos and trios. I could personally go on and on about explaining different heroes and their unique aspects, but in a quick summary, if you're looking for different characters and playstyles to play, and you want that in-depth gameplay that your favorite MMOs have, then these different heroes will definitely provide that for you. So then lastly, just before we go over to the gameplay, a new hero was added called Justina. One of her skills can summon an aura that while in the stance she recovers a set amount of armor and she is able to resist all the physical attacks. Then another skill is called the Shadow Swipe, which will make your character charge forwards at very high speed to deal damage, and if you hit the enemy you will freeze them, and each hit will give you additional 5% attack and much more. So if you're looking for a cool hero that has the control of the wind and ice, then you should definitely try this one out. So then in terms of gameplay, Naraka Bladepoint has a lot to offer. The PvP feels very satisfying and impactful, and at the start I would recommend to try the first few games with bots, and this will be a great place to start because when I tell you that this game is not easy, I mean it. The difference between a decent player and a really good player is huge. When playing with my friends, I saw multiple teams getting 1v3'd by very good players. So if you're one of those gamers, then unlike in other games, soloing in Naraka Bladepoint is very possible. Like I've mentioned, the combat feels very fun, and if I would have to put my finger on it, I would say that it is a mix between a Black Desert Online, New World and Apex Legends. So with the melee and range combat you have so many possibilities, and just in terms of graphics this really feels like a lot more improved version of Apex Legends. So like in any battle royale, the more you will play the better you will get. But I feel like Naraka Bladepoint has this perfect balance for a new player being able to play different game modes that are not that serious and even bot lobbies. And then for the pro players having a ranked game mode, different events and much more. Then mechanics wise, there is no fall damage, so you can jump from one building to another one while doing crazy parkour. The game feels very forgivable, as if you're playing duos or trios, you can revive your teammates, so you don't have this pressure of trying to perform super well, so then you won't let your teammates down. And of course, last but not least, what game is truly worth playing if not for the character customization. So in a quick summary, you can make whatever you want. For each one of your heroes you have a in-depth slider that you can change your face form, face color, the different structures of your eyebrows and much more. This game has definitely very well character customization, and the best thing is that you can make multiple character profiles and save them. So at any point you can completely change your character from going with a skinny martial artist to then a very big beefed up warrior and much more. So then moving over to my last and final conclusions about this game. I know that there is so much more I could explain and show that the Naraka Bladepoint has to offer. But not to make this video too long, these were the best and brightest game mechanics and features that I like the most. Overall, this game has a lot to offer, from in-depth gameplay to a full gearing up system, different game modes and plenty other things to do and learn. I always really like the battle royale games, and I will be definitely adding Naraka Bladepoint to my list from which I choose to play different game modes in my free time. If you're tired of MMORPGs, or perhaps you just don't have that much time to invest into a game and you're looking for a fun arena that feels very similar to other MMORPGs, then you should definitely try this game out. My only two downsides for this game is how hard it is to learn and compete against the best players in the world, and then the $20 price tag. But of course it's up to you. The question is, are you willing to pay 20 bucks for not having a game waste your time and having to work for your progression, or you would rather just be able to enjoy some fun PvP without having to invest countless of hours? So in general, I really enjoyed the game, and of course at the start it won't be easy and you will have to get used to the combat and learn different hero skills, but the more you will play, the better you will get. So if you're interested in the game, then check the link in the description, and if you will use my link, you'll be able to support my channel. With that said, thanks Naraka Bladepoint for sponsoring this video. So I really do appreciate everyone for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback, or other games that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe, and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I'll catch you in my next video. So take it easy, peace.